So hello guys, welcome back here on Gaming Boulevard. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube with us. So today we're with Ryan Schneider from Insomniac Games, currently working on Marvel's Spider-Man for PS4. Insomniac Games has a rich history of gaming such as Spyro, Sunset Overdrive, Ratchet & Clank. What brought you to the Spider-Man franchise?
That's a good question. To your point, we've created our own universes for almost our entire near 25-year history. But when Sony and Marvel Games approached us with the opportunity, it was just too good to pass up. I mean, so many of us grew up just loving the Marvel universe. Like, we love Spider-Man, and to have an opportunity to contribute to the Spider-Man universe with an original story, we got to do it. And it's just been nothing short of spectacular. We've really enjoyed it.
Okay, really cool. The Spider-Man we're following in this game is actually different from the one in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's older, he's been Spider-Man for a couple of years, 8 years.
That's right.
So he's at his prime. Does this also mean that the story is a bit more mature, perhaps even a bit more dark? Or do we still have the typical Spider-Man sense of humor?
Well, and today you're having an opportunity to play through the game, so I think you know the answer to that a little bit, that there's definitely an element of humor still. But at the same time, the stakes are really high. I mean, you've seen a lot of the villains, not all, but you've seen a lot of the villains in the game, and so the challenges that Spider-Man and Peter Parker have to face are greater than they almost have ever been before. So with greater stakes can come higher drama. At the same time, it's still a charming Peter Parker and a very witty Spider-Man. And I think one of the reasons that we jumped on the opportunity to make a Spider-Man game was because we enjoy sharing our sense of humor with everyone when we make our games. And I think a sense of humor is inherent in Spider-Man.
Yeah, from what I've played today, I really think we managed to do that. So it's really, the balance is really there.
Cool.
So when I grew up, there were Spider-Man games published by somebody else.
Okay.
In the PlayStation, Activision, in the PlayStation 2 era. Did the team actually play those games too to get inspiration from them, or did you really start from scratch with this one?
Well, it's both. I mean, we're all gamers, and many of us grew up with the PlayStation 2, so of course we played those games and many other games. So we bring that experience with us, and yet we want to start from scratch because we're telling a completely original story. And to do that, we are collaborating very closely with Marvel Games and Sony, and that's been a very helpful, valuable, and invaluable experience, really.
Yeah, sure. This is, talking from Insomniac Games' point of view, this is the biggest open world you guys ever created. How do you balance the speed of Spider-Man with an open world filled with side missions and stuff to see? Aren't you afraid that some people will literally just swing past them?
Well, first of all, traversal is a lot of fun in Marvel Spider-Man, and it is very easy to get caught up in being mesmerized by the flow. Right, and it's so much fun. Our creative director, Brian Intihar, if he needs to blow off some steam, like he definitely talks about how he just likes to swing around the city. And I don't think we're afraid of that at all. Like, it's an open world game. There's so much to do. Go swing around, go do whatever you want. All the side missions, and there are a ton of crimes happening, and research stations to visit, missions and side quests to go on, but you can do it at your pace. There's no reason to speed run through the whole thing. It's a beautiful New York City. Take your time, go traverse all the way up to the Empire State Building and beyond, and look around and dive down and swing through to your heart's content.
Yeah, it's a huge part of the game.
Totally.
I really love it.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen Spider-Man on consoles, so we're now PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro. How does the game benefit from this current generation power?
I mean, you see it when you're playing on a 4K TV. It looks spectacular. I think having a game that is supported by HDR, high dynamic range, it allows for beautiful contrasty images on your screen. It just feels that much more immersive, and I think that's a very good thing when you want to be placed into the Marvel universe. And that's really our goal, is to make you feel like you are inside of like a massive Marvel playground. Right?
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Cool.
So this is the big PlayStation exclusive game launching this holiday season. Does that bring extra pressure to the team, being the big exclusive during the holiday season?
Right.
Or are you pretty sure that people will just love it?
I think when you've been a developer as long as we have at Insomniac, like, you're never sure of anything. You don't take anything for granted. And yes, of course we feel the weight of working on something as important and beloved as Spider-Man. But that's because we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. If our tagline wasn't "Be Greater," this would be less corny, but it's true that that's our goal. Is we want to rise to the occasion. This is a very big deal, and even if there are a lot of outside expectations, like the expectations we put on ourselves to make something great, that comes first. And I can say that on behalf of everybody at the studio, we are very proud of what we made, and we just hope everybody who plays it feels the same way.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
One last question. Sure. So we can be Spider-Man now in games, but what if you could be Spider-Man for real? Just for one day, what would you do? How would your Spider-Man day look like?
I would be a very friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, because when I see, like, you go to a birthday party and they might have a costume Spider-Man, and when you see children interact with Spider-Man, that's just the best. Like, people who really think that, my goodness, that is Spider-Man, and if I had the opportunity to like really be Spider-Man and actually be him, I think just that's what makes Spider-Man special, is that he's so endearing and his heart is always in the right place. Even if he screws up in life sometimes, it's always through good intent. So as much as the villains are vital and important, it's the everyday people that I think I want to surround myself with. That's just me. You would get different answers from so many other people at Insomniac, and I think that's one of the things that makes Spider-Man so special.
True. But it's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for having me. That was really fun. Thanks. Cool.
What is happening to our city, Yuri?